Welcome back to the channel. We're doing one of my favorite videos to make. We are going over my monthly dividend income from May. Now, May was a good month for me in the market, pretty good month for me in the market, I have to say, and I'm happy with the dividends that were paid out. It's been amazing seeing this money just come in. And so we're just going to go over it. This is a realistic look at, I'm a 26-year-old. I've been in my career for roughly 3-4 years now. And so this is it is definitely a beginner kind of portfolio. I don't have a ton of money in here. I think it currently sits at about $17,000 and I'll be maxing it out. Again, this year it is a Roth IRA. It is a retirement account, so I don't pay taxes on these gains, which I'm very, very happy about. So we're going to go over my May dividends. So total in the month of May, money-wise, change-wise, not including the dividends, my portfolio went up $458.84. Which is great. I am happy with that number. It is better than April. I was negative in April, and so I'm happy that it's positive. I've seen this kind of trend, some months good, some months bad, but the dividends always make up for it. I'm going to be doing a full video series on these paid out dividends. I made a little chart to show how crazy some dividends are. So we'll talk about that at the end, but let's go ahead and jump into MPW. Pretty insane from this one. Medical Properties Trust, for those of you who don't know, is a REIT, and I have 100 shares because I do options. I started with 200 at one point, so the total amount it paid me this month for 100 shares was $30. What's amazing with this is I'm still writing option contracts on this. So the last options contract I wrote, I think this last month I made another about $20 on MPW. Just from the options, which is amazing. And then you add that with the dividend, and I've made roughly $50 just this month not this month, but this quarter from just the dividends and the options writing on MPW. My total gain loss is 22.81%. I've made $95.40. It's actually more than that because I did sell a contract that was called. And so I actually had 200 shares. My base cost was about $390, so I did have a nice return on MPW, and I'm pumped for it, and I'm holding it, as you can see, for the future. And I want to note, guys, this is a retirement account. It's not my retirement account. So I want to say that for transparency. If you think that this is how I think I'm going to save up all the money to retire eventually, it isn't necessarily true. I have a different retirement plan through work. This is my individual one. I had people in my comments last video talking about how they have more money than me and they're younger than me, and how my portfolio underperforms, and which isn't true. Technically, I actually did a bunch of research on that, and it was false, but people in the comments are going to say whatever they want. But this is my portfolio. I have different retirement. This is kind of more fun investing for me and a learning platform. So anyways, going back into it, you guys can comment if you want to comment and say you have more money than me. I understand it. I'm happy for you, but keep it at least constructive, at least constructive. So our next payment was from Realty Income. This is ticker O, I think it's the second largest holding in the portfolio, and it paid me $6.94. It has just under a 6% dividend yield. I think it's 5.91 last time I checked. I own 27 shares. And so this one, I'm down $103, 6.7%. Realty Income has been struggling. I've been buying more. And because all of these are reinvesting, I have the dividend set to auto reinvest. So the $30 from MPW immediately purchased $30 more worth of MPW, which is about 6 more shares. So that's important to note. I do expect these to continue building, especially the safer ones like like Realty Income and REIT. I expect this to build over time and my dividends to build with it. And we're going to track that all on the channel. So next we have REIT, not as popular of a REIT. It's been around longer than Realty Income, and it has a really, really solid dividend history. I think one of the longest dividend histories for REITs. And it paid me with 15.2 shares. It paid me $8.48. It does pay quarterly. It's not a monthly payer. Realty Income is monthly. So I'm getting $7 a month for that investment, and I have over $1,000 in Realty Income. But NNN REIT, still really good, a smaller portfolio size, but I still like this one. I will be adding to it, and with the reinvestments, it's going to keep going up. Next, we have EPR, which is another REIT. You can see I'm very REIT heavy. With interest rates being so high, I have been moving more capital into REITs because I think that they will do well when interest rates drop a little, or even if they maintain. I think REITs right now are undervalued pretty critically just based off of primarily off of the interest rate. So EPR Properties, a higher risk one. This is a smaller part of my portfolio with only 6 shares, and it paid me $1.71. And this one is a monthly payer as well. I'm down 1.27%, down $3.38. And I don't have too much money in this one because it is a little bit riskier. Next, Main Street Capital. I've talked about this one on the channel over and over and over again. It's one of my favorite holdings. It is a really popular BDC. They do a lot of special dividends. It's a lower yielding BDC. So in my head, that means it's safer, which isn't always true. You need to note that. I think Main is safe based off my history into it. Just because it has a lower yield doesn't mean it's safe. But they've been performing well. They haven't been growing their dividend as much, but they do a lot of special dividends, or at least they have in the past, and it pays monthly. So it paid me $5.55, which I love. My total percent gain on it is 13.85%, which is $139.90. It is one of my highest gainers in my portfolio. And on top of that, in the $1,000 dividend account, which is a different video series I have for 2024, where I put $1,000 into 10 different high yielding dividend stocks. Like I split it up and put 100 into each. Main is the second highest performing stock with, in the last 5.5 months, it's up like over 17%. And that's with dividends being reinvested. So it's been doing phenomenally well. It's only behind one other ETF, which is Coney, which has been doing insane. CONY. Next, we have, of course, the NEOS fund, QQQI, another monthly paying ETF. This one has a crazy yield of about 14%. And so this paid me $6.20 on, and it pays monthly, $6.20 on a smaller investment, roughly about $800 in there. And I have 10.2 shares. So far, I'm up 4.33%, which is $22. I am reinvesting those. And SPYI, right below it, the other NEOS fund, have a little bit less in this one. I have 5.1 shares, and it paid me $2.52. I'm up $9, which is just under 4%. So these are the ones that I'm interested in potentially not reinvesting dividends, because the yield is so high. I think over time, depending on how the strategy pans out with the options that they write and the rise and fall of the market, it might be better to put that capital into something else that pays a more consistent dividend and is just a lower risk. These funds haven't been around that long, but I am very hopeful for them, and they have some really crazy tax benefits. Just basically better taxed than other ETFs. So if you're investing in just a normal brokerage, that's really important. Next, we have SPAXX, which is just my Fidelity account's cash. So I get money reinvested from having cash in the account. And it was minimal, $3.35 for the month. Can't complain. I don't have a lot of cash in there. I think it was roughly like $800. So it's a very low yield on that. But still nice to know. And then last but not least, we have ABR, Arbor Realty Trust, a stock I've been looking at putting more money into, because it is one of my favorites. It is another REIT, and I have 43.3 shares. I made $18.06 this month. They are not a monthly dividend payer. They pay out quarterly. I need to check that though. Yeah, I think they pay out quarterly. Because there are some REITs that don't. There's a lot of REITs that do pay out monthly, but I don't think ABR is one of them. No, it's not. They pay out quarterly, so that's why the dividend is higher. I think I have roughly $700 to $800 in ABR as well. Total, I am up 18.11%, which is pretty phenomenal, and that's $91.92. The reason I did so well with ABR is they have a lot of kind of bad news put out about them from different companies that are shorting the stock, and I purchased it on a crazy drop because I knew that the company that had written the short report was a faulty company at best. Not a lot of data in the report, terribly written, bad grammar, bad spelling, and so I figured it was a bust, and it was, and the stock shot back up. So I kind of wait for it to have these short reports written about it. It's had 2 in the last couple of years, and it really sometimes it takes like 25% off the price. So boom, you buy it at a sale. So total, I'm actually let me move this chart and let's blow it up. You can see the difference in the dividends and what was paid. The main payer was going to be MPW. And then next we have, it's not exactly showing it, but next we have, what would that be? That would be NNN REIT. And from there, I tried to find a different color scheme that was more different, but it's unique, because these ones are kind of similar and they don't really have it on Excel, which I was surprised about. But really, SPAXX was one of our smallest. We have a couple other small ones, as you guys have seen. Only getting $1 from EPR, but again, it pays monthly, and $2 from SPYI. But it is important to note, this is just my portfolio. It's how I like to invest. I've been having a lot of fun with it, as well as I messed that whole thing up, as well as my other investments with options and whatnot. So I'm kind of just growing a smaller account, and it's been really enjoyable. I love your guys' comments. If you let me know what you think about my account, even if it is negative, even if you say, I don't think you should have this much here, that really does help me get a more well-rounded look. Tell me what stocks have benefited you, because I really want to know what other stocks people love that they've been holding for a long time. At the beginning of 2024, I reallocated all of my funds. I basically sold 90% of my stocks and shifted them all into some safer but more higher yielding dividend stocks away from a lot of other just domestic stock. So it's been working out so far. I've been loving watching the dividends roll in. Let's do a quick addition and see exactly how much we made in dividends. So this month we made $82.81, which is great. I'm really, really happy with that. I'm curious to see how this does over the span of the year. I'm going to start tracking all of this and adding up my total dividends for the year and making that part of the channel, because it is really important. And I think it's great for people to share how much money they are actually making off of this. It's not fluff. This is my actual hard-earned dollars that are put into this account. And so honestly, I appreciate you guys watching the video. I'm really, really happy with the channel and how supportive you guys have been. I can't say thank you enough. And so if you're interested, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Let me know what stock I own that is your favorite from this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.